What's up, everybody, and welcome back yet again to another drum playthrough review. Oh, you like how I switched it up on you there? I didn't do the little, the clap. I'm tired. I've been doing, this is my 6th one filming in a row. Ignore me. For everyone who's brand new, hello and welcome. My name is Nick. I'm a drummer, a multi-instrumentalist, and whatnot. And the reason why we like to do these is because we like to take a look at the drummers who are better than us, drummers who have nearly perfect technique, break down their drumming, analyze their technique into an easy-to-digest form, so that way we can take that, learn it, and become better musicians ourselves. So we've got a very interesting drummer we're learning from today. We're learning from a drummer who's made his name on the internet being an absolute GOAT. Now, there are a couple things I will say and preface this video with first before we get started. I used to not like this guy. It's kind of weird. I know you've already seen who it is in the name of the thumbnail, but yeah, young Nikolai as a drummer used to not like this guy. And there were a couple reasons for it. For one, I always was just like, and I know this is the strangest thing probably hearing from me. I always talk about how I like to play tech death and whatnot. It's the strangest thing when you hear it from me saying why I used to not like this guy. The reason why when young Nick was starting out drums, he used to not like this guy was because young Nick was into Black Sabbath, young Nick was into Jimi Hendrix, young Nick was into Metallica, and young Nick heard Luke Holland, the absolute unit himself, and thought, why would anyone want to play something that technical? How far we have come. And how far we have progressed. And now sit here, listen to me, and I'm just like, dang, I'm playing more technical stuff than I ever could have dreamed of. Oh my God. I remember at one point I thought, who would ever want to play a blast beat? And then I heard 6/6 Samus, and I was just like, okay, yeah, maybe I should probably change that opinion. That blast beats are cool. But yes, I used to at one point not like Luke Holland. I thought that he was a little too technical. I thought, oh my God, who wants to ever play like that? That's just annoying. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, simple riffs and all that. And then obviously as I matured and grew as a drummer, I grew to realize, oh wow, Luke Holland is actually like really cool, and he's a pretty darn good drummer. And he definitely has a lot of really cool technique you can learn from. I believe right now he's actually the touring drummer for Falling in Reverse. He's an absolutely beast of a drummer. So we're going to take a look, by the way, at this song called Tendinitis. It's a song by Jason Richardson, who used to be one of the guitarists in Born of Osiris. He's an absolutely killer guitarist. And we're going to take a look at this drum cover that he did. It's a drum playthrough, I'm sorry. We're going to take a look at this drum playthrough that he did of Tendinitis. I think it's going to be sick. I know Luke Holland is an absolutely phenomenal drummer. He's got a lot of chops under his belt. He's definitely learned a lot about rudiments and has gotten a lot of practice under his belt in the meantime. But yeah, this is going to be a fun playthrough of a Jason Richardson song. I'm stoked. I think it's going to be sick. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it as well. Let's get right into trying to find out what this man's technique is all about. All right, we are loaded. So without any further ado, ladies and gents, let's get right into the video. And it's in 4K, by the way. Oh yeah. Oh, see, already we're getting into it, dude. He's got some power on those feet, bro. Man, absolutely sick. You can definitely tell that Jason Richardson was with Born of Osiris because those rhythms are very, very much, Boo Crew. He's using a lot of different interesting rudiment chains here. Oh yeah. A lot of cool subdivisions too going on in the background. This is definitely a very energetic playthrough. And you can tell too, that's natural reverb that's going on inside the video. But he's using full leg motion when he's playing with his bass drums. this man's got chops for days. Really good, interesting, and technical rhythms. I'm trying to see what kind of rudiments he's using, but I'm having a little bit of a hard time seeing it. It's just so fast. But yeah, the man's absolutely beating up his bass drum though. He's got so much power in those legs. Looks like what he was playing, was that a variation of a 9-stroke roll? Maybe? He's got a slight swivel going on with his lead right foot there. Very slight. But yeah, this is an excellent playthrough. He's totally focused on that metronome too. That's a 6-stroke roll very quickly though. Absolutely excellent, dude. Excellent job, dude. That was sick. Absolutely great. Man, Luke Holland does not disappoint. Now, one thing I will say, again, to preface this video, that is a lot of chops that he's doing in a very short amount of time and a very high speed. You can definitely tell there's definitely a lot of rudiment chains involved with that. I just couldn't exactly tell what he was doing just because of the speed that he was doing. But, dude, mind boggled, dude. My mind has been boggled. So let's break down that technique, why don't we? So there was definitely a lot of different wrist motions that were going on in there. Very good dynamic control as well on his wrist motions. You could tell, especially when he was doing all the ghost notes and the grace notes and everything like that, he was still keeping very loose and he was still, you know, like not really putting a lot of tension on it. Sometimes one problem that I see a lot of players have is, especially with the ghost notes, they try too hard to make sure that it's a light note, and they try to make sure it's, you know, they put a little bit too much effort to make sure that it's light, and then they, you know, will go loose on the backbeat or whatnot. You don't necessarily need to do that, and you don't necessarily want to do that. When you get to the point where you can have that power while keeping loose, while also still keeping loose with your ghost notes, you won't need to worry about, you know, how the volume changes or everything like that, because all that's going to be instilled in your muscle memory. Some people try a little bit too hard to make sure that things are, like, you know, just right and just the right volume, and they sometimes will be a little bit stiff on certain parts of it. Not this guy. This guy's definitely practiced a lot. He's definitely put in a lot of effort keeping loose and keeping very nice and tight. You can tell, though, definitely by the look on his face that this man, he was tired. This was not the first playthrough of this song that he did. He definitely did a couple more playthroughs before, and this is probably like several takes later. Which just goes to show you, though, that sometimes super technical playing can cause you a little bit of problems, because sometimes you may not be able to replicate it 100% each time. And here's the thing. That's okay. There's not a problem with playing something that's over technical that you're not going to be able to play 100% exactly like each time. Sometimes having a little bit of variation, playing things just a little bit different each time, that's okay. That adds character to your drumming, and that's what makes it special. Being able to continue to add that human element into your drumming helps to bring something that, you know, programming drums or doing, you know, triggered out drums or anything like that is not going to give you. The human aspect is actually something that you can hear a lot of. It's something that's raw, it's something that's aggressive, it's something that moves the human soul. See, this is why I've never really been a huge fan of trying to use drum machines or anything like that. I know I myself use a drum machine for a lot of the songs that we use, and that is because we don't have a microphone set up to mic up my drum kit yet. Once we get to, though, believe me, I'm going to be switching and I'm going to be doing all the live tracking I can get my hands on. But there is, you know, a lot of different things that a drum machine can't do that a human can do. And one of the things is add that human aspect into the drumming. It's something that I find that a lot of drummers, you know, they don't really take into effect, and they'll just, you know, easily just program out their drums and whatnot. But having that human aspect actually does do a lot for the song. It actually adds something extra that speaks a little bit more deeply to the human. Because knowing that there might be a few flaws and there might be a few mistakes here and there, that's not really a problem or anything like that. That adds character to the song, and that makes it all the more important. And here's the thing. There wasn't a mistake in this song, but there was definitely a lot of human character put into this song. There's definitely a lot of expressiveness in this song, and that's all because of his play style. Whether it's using all the wrist motion that he's using and getting all that good power, whether it's, the full leg motion with his bass drums and anything like that, or even just, all the different, volume levels that he's using with his grace notes, how some grace notes might be a little bit louder than others. All that adds such an amazing human element to drumming that just appeals to the soul in a very different way. It allows you to build that connection with the music that you may not get if you were just going to sit there and program drums, which is why it is all the more important than ever to practice, practice, practice. Practice all those different rudiments that you may not have heard of, like check out those radamakus, check out the flamdiddles, check out the pata fla-flas, do the 13-stroke roll. Nobody does that. Practice all that stuff, because I guarantee you, a drummer like Luke Holland, that man's practiced all sorts of rudiments that you ain't even heard of yet, and all of it has positively influenced his drumming, because he's adding in all these different chops in there and all these different rhythms that are honestly like mind-boggling when you sit there and listen to it. But at the end of the day, it makes his drumming very unique and characteristic. It makes it so that way it's unmistakable that you hear that and you're like, wow, that's Luke Holland. Nobody else plays fills like that guy. And at the end of the day, what we want is our drumming to be unique, and we want it to, be able to be an expression and an extension of ourselves. So being able to say, what we can't say through our drumming and through our art, that can help make our style unmistakable and very easily recognizable. And that's something that we want as drummers. When it comes to achieving his power, it definitely takes a lot of work to achieve that power. So make sure no matter what you're doing, you're staying loose while you're doing it. That's how he can keep his power consistent and be able to keep it going for that long. If you're going to be stiff, you're going to lose that power because you're going to burn up all that energy that you got. So keeping loose is going to be able to help you achieve that power and keep that power consistent throughout the whole time. Practice always to a metronome. Metronomes are fundamental, especially for drummers, because not only does it help us to instill inside of ourselves a natural metronome, but also it helps to give us a sense of timing, so that way when we hear a song, we know, okay, that's about 205 BPM. And we know how to keep that timing consistent throughout the song and not be all over the place with our tempos. And then finally, don't be afraid to make a mistake every so often. It's great if you don't miss a single note like in this playthrough. It's awesome if you can do that. But you know what? It's okay if you miss a note every so often, or maybe you miss that one cymbal hit. That's okay. Perfectly fine. Just don't make sure that you're trying to lie about it and then cover it up and say that you actually can play that. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, actually, no, I did play that, even though it's very flagrantly false. You know who you are. So yeah, excellent job, Luke Holland. That was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely fantastic. Loved it. I don't hate you anymore, by the way. I absolutely love you. And with all that being said, y'all, that's going to be the end of this video. So here's just a few things y'all can do to support me. So for one, you can like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You can check out the playlist I have with videos very similar to this. And you can also check out the links I have in the description below for my band's Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram page. And with all that being said, y'all, that's the end of this video. So thanks everyone for tuning in and stopping by. It's been a pleasure to have y'all. Hopefully I'll see y'all in the next video. So without further ado, cheers and have a great night.